Why blame feels like relief and why it quietly keeps people stuck. Blame feels natural. When something painful happens, the mind immediately looks for cause. Who did this? Who failed? Who should have acted differently? This is not weakness. It is how the brain tries to restore order. Blame creates clarity quickly, and clarity feels like relief. But relief is not the same as resolution. Blame can reduce emotional pressure without solving the underlying problem. And that is where blame becomes dangerous. Blame works because it protects you from something uncomfortable, self examination. If the problem exists entirely outside you, you don't have to question your patterns. You don't have to question your responses. You don't have to question your choices. And sometimes external causes are real. But even when they are, blame alone rarely changes outcomes. The hidden cost of blame is not moral, it's practical. When fault lives completely outside you, so does influence. You may be right, but you're still stuck. Blame is emotionally efficient. It explains what happened. It assigns responsibility. It closes the emotional loop quickly. And the brain loves anything that reduces uncertainty, even if it reduces possibility. Over time, repeated blame can shape how you interpret your life. Instead of asking, "What can I change?" the mind starts defaulting to, "Who caused this?" This shift is subtle, but it changes everything because growth usually begins at one uncomfortable intersection, the place where you ask, "What was my role in this?" Not because everything is your fault, but because responsibility is where leverage lives. Most people don't realize the trade they make when they rely heavily on blame. They trade short term emotional relief for long term personal power. Blame soothes, but it rarely builds, and a life built primarily on soothing usually stops expanding. The most difficult transition most people ever make is this: moving from "I was wronged" to "I was affected, and now I decide what happens next." That shift restores agency, and agency is where change begins. Blame is emotional anesthesia. It numbs discomfort, but it also numbs urgency. And without urgency, very little changes. Nothing changes until it's lived. What are you still blaming that might be quietly preventing your next level of growth?